Hello everyone, my name is Protagonist, you can call me Protag, and today we're here to open up the newest Rush Duel structure deck, Birth of a Hero. So this deck is obviously consisting of a lot of old hero cards, but it also introduces some new ones as well. With this, alongside some of the new hero support coming in the newest Rush Duel set, it looks like Heroes is going to be a pretty strong deck to contend with. But without further ado, let's get this box opened and see what we got. Now, with these structure decks, there's always a special card, and it's not really like it's not like a promotional card or something. It's just like a higher rarity of some of the cards that we might see in here. So, for example, it's possible to get a Overrush rare of, Flame Wingman, or the newest fusion card, Burst Wingman. Well, let's see what we got though. Okay, so I was expecting the special card first, but this is the guaranteed ultra rare Flame Wingman, which means that the nice card is probably at the end, right? Either way, I'm really loving the look and the color here. It feels like it just pops out more, even without the Overrush rarity. I think there's like, 43 cards in here? 40 main and 3 extra? You're probably gonna need the 3 copies to get a playset of the good cards though, so keep that in mind. I like the little thing. It's never too fancy with these structure decks, it looks like. There's a thing around here to open it. So we're gonna try and go for it. But my nails are not that strong. So, alright. Oh, there we go. I think I found it. Yeah, opening these is a little tough, but we managed to figure it out. Pull the little wrap around, and boom, here we go. Now we can begin. I am very excited. These are some very cool cards, and hopefully we can get this in proper focus. There we go. All right. Cool. So, starting off, we have Elemental Hero Flame Wingman. This is just the classic. Nothing too surprising here. Next up is the new Elemental Hero Fusion Monster. This is Elemental Hero Burst Wingman. So, as you can probably tell from the design, this is another Burstinatrix and Avian Fusion Monster. But its effect is different from Flame Wingman, of course. By sending the top card of your deck to the graveyard, you can then... Then one face-up warrior gains 1000 attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. Then, you can destroy one spell or trap on your opponent's side of the field. So, not too bad. Pretty decent stats. Actually, I think it's the same as Flame Wingman, but you get some card destruction, or some back row hate as well. So, can never go wrong with something like that. Next up, we have Elemental Hero Thunder Giant. Next up is the classic Elemental Hero Neos. Then we have Sparkman. We have Clayman. Here is Burstinatrix. A second Burstinatrix, because there's 2 fusions that need her. And then we got Avian, and a second one as well. And then we have Bubbleman. So Bubbleman, I don't know how useful it's going to be. We did get introduced to Mudball Man as one of the special promo cards, but I don't know if Mudball Man is going to be worth running even to have like the Bubble Man out. It'll be interesting to see. Not a lot of decks that I've seen really run Bubble Man, but maybe just like a one of. Who knows? And then next up is one of the new hero supports. So this is Rising Hero. This is a new hero, I guess, series, a new hero like group, I guess. But this is Rising Hero Argent. If you reveal a level 6 or 7 warrior fusion from your extra deck, excavate the top 4 cards of your deck. You can then add up to 2 excavated normal monsters whose names are mentioned as material on the fusion reveal to your hand. But then you place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So I don't think this is too bad of a card. I mean, they're going to know that you're playing heroes at that point if you're showing a monster, and you can have a chance to get the materials that you need in order to summon it. So, why not? And it's a 4, so you put this down pretty easily. This is Rush Duels anyway. Alright, next up is Rottwyvern. This is a grown-up version of Rottweiler from the GX anime, but, you know, now it's a dragon. I don't know how the dog turns into a dragon, but, you know, we don't question those types of things. If you have a face-up warrior normal monster on your field, you can special summon this card in face-up defense position. You can then send the top 4 cards of your deck to the graveyard, and then you can add a fusion from your graveyard to your hand. So overall, I think this is a pretty good card, and, you know, even if you can't get the rest of your combo out in this turn, having a level 7 2200 defense on the field is also nothing to scoff at either. Alright, moving on, we have Hero Boy. So now this is also a new hero card. If you have a fusion or skyscraper in your graveyard, you can add up to 2 normal monsters and or fusion from the grave to your hand. Fusion the card. Then send 1 monster from your field to the graveyard. So this is a good way to try and recycle your fusions, especially because you need them in order to, you know, facilitate your fusion summonings. Polymerization is a legend spell here in Rush Duels because of how powerful it is. So we have fusion, which requires both of your materials on the field in order for you to fusion summon. So you're going to probably be needing a lot of those fusion cards, or if you have another way to fuse, then you can do that as well. So next up, we have Free the Brave Wanderer. So this is a legend card. This is a legend monster, which, you know, we've seen this card before, but this is the first time we have it in Rush Duels. Place 2 light monsters from your grave to the bottom of your deck, so now you can destroy 1 face-up on the field with higher attack than this card. 1700 attack is high, but there's plenty of monsters that are higher. However, if they have, you know, protective effects, it's going to be a little difficult. Next up, we got, this is Spectres of Heaven's End. Then we have Yami Ruler, the Dark Delayer, Supreme Soldier Spear. This is Guilford the Rising. This is Rush Duels Guilford. Next up, we have Max Raider, which is just a typical normal monster. I feel like this is printed quite a bit. After that, we have, Gaia the Fierce Knight. Another pretty strong card. And then we have Opha Claymore, the Music Princess, which is a very fun archetype that I enjoy. It's a bunch of wind type warriors. I believe that, you know, they have some really nice effects. I think just the concept of this series of cards is really cool, and I like it a lot. Next up, we have Piercing Samurai in order to help give your monsters Pierce to hit over any defense creatures. And then we have the Talismanic Warriors. So the first one is Karatake, the Talismanic Warrior, Shitotsu, the Talismanic Warrior, Shitotsu, the Talismanic Warrior. Then we have Migi Nagi, this is the green one. This is Sakakaze, the Talismanic Warrior. And then we have Migi Nagi, the Talismanic Warrior. Following that is Siesta Torero. Very cool. Then we have Horn Knives, the Music Princess. As you can see, all the Music Princesses have weapons that, you know, are also instruments. So a lot of their names are, you know, musical puns or portmanteaus. Next up after that is Mezame, the Ringing Alarm. And then, oh my god, this is Pot of Greed! This is actually a very cool, this is actually a secret rare of Pot of Greed. You can tell there's a little shiny here. Very nice. I like it a lot. Yeah, we have Pot of Greed, and you draw 2, but it's a legend spell, so you can only have 1 of them, but it's honestly not the worst card. I think there's definitely a lot of discussion about if Pot of Greed or Graceful Charity is the better spell if you need to draw cards, but it really just depends on the type of deck that you're playing. So if you have cards that, you know, need a lot of stuff in the graveyard in order to activate, then you're probably going to be running Graceful Charity instead of something like Pot of Greed. But if you just need cards in hand, this is the card you need. Very cool. And then we also have another good card. This is Ship of 7 Treasures, also in Secret Rare. Look at that. So this is also a really good card. Most people run this just because of, you know, the draw potential and, you know, putting level 7s in the graveyard to empty out your hand, you know, just to, you know, get some more space, or, you know, to just do some fun stuff. This is just a really good card to have. And then we have a new card here as well. this is Elemental Circulation. This is a very, I guess, I would say a very strong card. Reveal one level 6 or level 7 warrior type fusion monster in your extra deck to your opponent. And then you can send one warrior type monster whose name is mentioned on it from your hand to the graveyard. You can then draw 3 cards. Then send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. If you do, you cannot activate monster effects until the end of this turn, except those of warrior type monsters. So this card does warrior lock you, but at the same time, you get to draw 3, which is not bad. And, you know, it can work together with a lot of graveyard stuff as well, like I said before. You know, sending 2 cards to the grave to draw 3 is, you know, a +1. Really, actually, I think it's a net 0 because you're playing this card too. But, you know, depending on what you put into your graveyard or depending on what you get, this can turn around a lot of games as well. And speaking of turning around a lot of games, here we have Miracle Fusion. Now, this should be a classic for everyone, but for those who, you know, might not know, you can fusion summon a warrior type monster that cannot be special summoned except by fusion summon by placing monsters from your field and or graveyard to the bottom of your owner's deck in any order as material. So this is just a very nice way to get those cards or get your fusion summons out without having to rely on the basic fusion spell or even having to rely on running polymerization or something. This is the best thing that you can get for heroes, so of course it's going to be added. Next up, we also have Skyscraper. Now, this isn't your regular Skyscraper because Rush does it a little differently. While this card is face up on the field, face up elemental hero Avian, Burstinatrix, Clayman, Sparkman, Bubbleman, and Neos, as well as any level 5 through 8 warrior type fusion monsters on the turn player's field gain 1000 attack. Now, you've probably already heard this from a lot of people, but Rush Duels doesn't really do archetypes. So it's not going to just say any elemental hero gains 1000 attack. They're going to be specific about which cards are being added. And, you know, I think that's not a bad thing. If you start adding archetypes to everything, then it's going to get a little bit more complicated. Either way, I think this is just a strong card as is. And then we have Ghost Cyclone. Next up, Secret Order, very powerful card. Parallel Birth Gates. And then here are our fusions. We get 2 of them in this deck because, once again, you know, we got I think what 3 fusion monsters, right? So, you know, I think they're just like, oh, use 2 of them for, you know, use 2 fusions and then you have a Miracle Fusion for something else. And then we have Magical Stone Excavation. We have Quaking Mirror Force, which is a new legend trap. This one's very simple, right? When an opponent's a monster declares an attack, you can change all face-up monsters on your opponent's field to face-down defense. I like to call it Funny Mirror Force, but, you know, that's just me. Next up is Dragon Lion Pit Trap. We have Siesta's Hold. And then our last card is okay. Well, I thought the Flame Wingman and Burst Wingman were our 2 shiny cards, but we have a shiny Thunder Giant as well to add to our little collection. So we have all 3 of our elemental hero fusions as super rares. Or actually, no, I think the Elemental Flame Wingman and Burst Wingman are ultra rares, but the Thunder Giant is a super rare. So very cool. Very happy about that. We have 3 shiny fusions, so I'll take that. So yeah, those are all the cards for this structured deck. If you do want to play these, I suggest getting, you know, 3 copies as always for most structured decks. This is just how, you know, structured decks are made, but who knows? Maybe we'll get them in the near future. You know, fingers crossed. Really open for that Rush Duel TCG. But that'll be it for me today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Hopefully we can do a lot more of these unboxings soon. We got the new set coming up. I'm probably going to stream those whenever it comes out. But yeah, I'm very excited to see how this deck, I'm very excited to see how this deck decides to, perform in tournaments and things like that. I might try it out myself online, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But it's very cool that we're getting a lot of legacy support, as well as, just getting all of these cards being introduced into Rush Duels. I think it's a great way to try and get people interested in Rush, because now you have familiar cards being added. Like, oh, hey, remember Elemental Hero Neos? Remember when, you know, you could fusion summon the Elemental Hero monsters and stuff? Like, we got some cool stuff going on here in Rush, so hopefully if you guys are interested, you check it out, you play some Rush, and, you know, have a good time with it. So yeah, that'll be it for me today. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.